And it was about how people earn their rights in the United Kingdom, all the way from, you know, the Middle Ages to the Brixton riots and the suffragettes. And I thought, one thing I noticed was that how the Conservatives, every time, are on the wrong side of history. Every time. Have they ever been on the right side of history? And once again, unfortunately we've seen here that history is repeating itself. Every time they try and infringe on people's rights, and here they're infringing on people's rights. It's a protest, it's a human right. And I just thought that was really important. And I'm glad that so many people here have recognised that and turned out. You know, we've all got something to say. You know, Boris Johnson and his Tory government once again proving how, you know, they want to do that. They want to maintain the status quo. They want to maintain the elitist control on power by limiting people's rights to protest. And I just thought that was really important to say. I don't have much to say really. I've got so much to learn about this sort of stuff. How much I've got to learn about Black Lives Matter. How much I've got to learn about, you know, ethnic minorities gaining rights. That's why I'm here in a way to continue my learning. Yes. Thank you, yeah. Next.
Hello. Very loud. I just want to say that I'm pretty pissed off about the state of this situation in this country right now, and I want to make a change. And I'm so happy to see all these people together, of all colours, of all ages, and you know what, fuck the police, we've got this, kill the bill, get everyone on equal rights, because I'm sick of this. And also, let's not forget the rest of the people around the world, the women who we need to stand up for, the men who we need to stand up for, trans people, bi people, everyone needs to be taken into account for. Thank you for being here today, and well done. Be proud of who you are and stand up for your rights.
Hi everybody, it's great to be here with so many people. There was a guy on just now who was saying he's not really a campaigner. Well, let me tell you, I am a campaigner, and I've been campaigning for nearly 70 years, and I don't intend to stop now. And this police bill will not stop me. If it arrests me, I shall carry on. If it puts me in prison, I will carry on. Because this is the biggest attack on our civil liberties ever. And the right to protest is the absolute foundation of democracy. But I want to speak about a group of people that we haven't referred to today, whose rights are seriously challenged in this bill, and that is the gypsies and travellers. The trespass bill, it prevents us from free travel in the countryside. It attacks people who are homeless on the streets, but it takes away the absolute livelihood, the homes, the way of life of gypsies and travellers. These people in the 1500s, it was a capital offence to be a gypsy in this country, and not only that, it was a capital offence to befriend or associate with gypsies. And we're returning to that terrible racist state, and we have to challenge it absolutely and stand with those people and all other oppressed people. So, for everybody, let's keep fighting, and let's forget, okay, the police are implicated, but the people who are putting through this bill are the fascists in our government. So, whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets!
for calling out today. It's really important that we keep protesting this bill. I'm here as a member of the Socialist Worker Student Society to oppose this bill today, and we need as many people out on the streets as possible. We need the trade unions to go out on strike. We need to keep fighting, because we've seen the way that the police behave without this law. We've seen it in Bristol the past couple of days, we saw it at Clapham Common, but we've seen it throughout history. They have never protected us. We see it in the way they disproportionately stop and search black people who are 9 times more likely to be stopped, and the way they protect fascists time and time again. And if this bill goes through, it will give the police more powers on protests. And as the previous speaker said, it will also criminalise Roma and traveller groups, and it will give police more power to stop and search people previously convicted of knife crime offences without any reason or suspicion. But the right to protest is fundamental. Everything we have ever achieved under this system, we have won through protest and campaigning. The right to vote, decriminalisation of homosexuality, equal abortion access, the list goes on. Because the state will try to repress us and silence us whenever they can. And according to the government, this bill is going to give the police powers and tools they need to keep themselves and us safe. But we know the police don't keep us safe. And the idea that that institution, which exists solely to uphold the interests of the state, should be given more power over protesters is dangerous. It's not in the interest of those at the top of society to encourage change. The capitalist system is working fine for them, but that system, that racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic system, which is causing the deaths of so many of us, needs to be opposed. Resistance has never been more important. We have to oppose this bill. We need to get involved with local movements, and we have to keep fighting for our right to protest.
Basically, my thoughts, right, is the system we live in is fucked. Right? Basically, everything we do is controlled by corporations. The government does not care for any of us. The police are the billionaires, workers, like, it's fucked. It's fucked, right? So we need change. We need change. No one cares anymore about anything, right? The police work for these people, and it's sad. It's sad. We need to change the system. We need some kind of thing that cares about the people. Since 2008, since the recession, wages have dropped, and nothing's changing. The rich get richer, and the poor get poorer. We need change. Stuff needs to be changed. It's right. Everyone out there cares for change, I guess. It's right. It's right. But yeah, that's all I've got to say, really, isn't it? Change the system.
Please share the stream,
Hi everyone.
spam it with some hearts, it's good for the algorithm.
I realise that if 100 years ago today we didn't have the right to protest, women wouldn't have the right to vote. So any woman that voted for us to not have the right to protest should be ashamed, because they wouldn't have been able to do that. They wouldn't have been able to vote to even choose that if we had the right to protest. Because 100 years ago, they didn't. Women couldn't vote. And that's all because of the suffragettes. And it's all because they protested. And if we can't protest, then nothing will change. Because the only thing we can do is change things ourselves. So whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! Thank you for all coming out today. You're all amazing!
We are where we are today because of the people who, like us, have stood here and fought for everything we have. And if people think they can stop us, they're fucking wrong, because everyone here has a lot to say. And the people who protested for the right to vote got women where they are today. The world still isn't perfect, and there is still a lot I want to change, and there's still a lot everyone wants to change. Sorry, I'm starting off, but they fought for the world we live in today, and there are still so many problems with the world we live in today that we're not going to stop, and we're going to keep going until we have everything we need, until people aren't killed for the way they look or for their gender or for expressing who they want to be. Hate streets! Hate streets! From the government!
Hi, I'm Welsh. I'm from South Wales, and I'm really proud to be Welsh, but I am not fucking proud of our police force. And I want to tell you about it because I don't think a lot of people understand what's going on in Wales right now. 2 black men have died in police custody under suspicious circumstances. Mohammed Hassan and Moyed Bashir, and our police are doing nothing! We've had protests where protesters have asked the police there, did you kill Mohammed Hassan? And they have laughed in their faces and said yes. They don't care. Another case I want to talk about is Sianda McNaza. She is a black woman who was racially attacked, she defended herself, and she is now in prison. She's just had an appeal where they approved that the evidence used against her was false, and they've still not overturned their sentence. It is disgusting that this is happening in 2021 in a country like ours. And I have friends in Bristol right now who are being pepper sprayed, who are being detained overnight, arrested on obstructing the highway when the body cam footage shows they're on the pavement. ACAB, all cops are bastards! And kill the fucking bill! I think it's really easy when Boris Johnson goes on TV and does his little funny stints for a lot of people to think that he's a harmless leader. But he's shown a consistent lack of respect for human rights and what he can do lawfully throughout his entire term as Prime Minister. First with proroguing Parliament illegally with Article 50 last year, and now with this. And he's trying to silence the voices that got women power in the first place. So, honestly, just fuck Boris Johnson and kill the bill. Who is streets? Who is streets? Thank you.
I'd just like to say, when I first heard about this bill coming through, my first thought was, how fucking dare they? How dare they tell what we can and can't do in our own fucking streets? How dare they tell me that I can't come out here and protest my right, protest the fact that I am being run down every single day for so many things. I grew up in a council estate. I grew up in a woman's body when I am trans. I am non-binary. I grew up with so many reasons why I need to protest and so many reasons why I need to speak my truth into the street, and still they are telling me that I can't protest? How fucking dare they? If I was a woman of colour, oh my fucking god, I can't even imagine how much I'd want to protest, given I want to protest so much now. Fucking hell. And I just want to say, I'm so glad that everyone is here supporting and like with their fellow brother and sister. Like we said before, say if you're a straight white cis male, you're here, you're helping, you're being an ally, you're doing what you can. You're being here and showing support with your people, your fellow people who need the support, who need their voices heard, and who need the extra voices and the extra loudness that we're going to give today. As they said, be angry, shout, scream, show us what you want to hear. Show us what is in your mind. Let us hear. Because if we don't, then how the fuck is any of this going to change? If we sit at home, and if we just sit and we let this happen while it's going on in our own street, if we just let it happen, then we're just as bad as Stuarts. We're just as bad as the people who are putting up this bill. We are not going to stand
come for you.
Right, so I want to speak directly to the police that are here today. It is not that we want people to stop having power. It's not that we're crying over nothing. That we just hate people for people. All that we want you to be better humans. It's gone far past the point of us being able to trust the police. Relations are not going to be fixed now. It's too far. You have taken it too far. Time after time, you have proven that you are untrustworthy. The police have been trained, it is ingrained in them to fear us, to fear Muslim people, to fear black people, to fear protesters, to fear the working class. They have also been trained, and it is ingrained in them, to fear each other, to fear their colleagues, to be scared of their bosses, to be scared of speaking out, to be scared of whistleblowing. We know you are scared of your colleagues. The ones that rape, the ones that murder, the ones that are predators, the ones that abuse their wives, their husbands. You are scared of the ones that are in paedophile gangs, the ones that are just paedophiles, just you're scared of each other. So why is it that the only people that you attack out of all those people you fear are us? Why is that? Why are you too scared to speak out on your colleagues? We're not fake. We are not fake. We don't all just blindly walk into thinking that all cops are bastards. You have not proven to us that you are not. So I hope that you go back today to your families, to your colleagues, and you hear and you tell them what we have said today. I hope that you don't go back and you feed into what the media say about us. I hope that you don't just actually believe that we're all thick and that we all just want to cry over nothing and that we are all violent. It's not on us to gain the police's trust. It's not on us. Instead, they need to gain our trust. Sorry, right. So what we want accessible whistleblowing. But I don't believe that you are going to provide that. I don't believe that you are going to be able to do that. What we need is enough funding for social workers, for the NHS, for mental health services, for charities that are trained and are able to deal with people so that you don't have to interfere when situations get to a level when someone is needed. You are not trained enough to deal with people that need you. So we don't want you there. We want the money to go towards people that know what they're doing. We also want an end to austerity. Sorry. We want a society where there isn't a poor to be criminalised, where there isn't black people criminalised, where people are constantly criminalised, but I don't believe that that's going to happen. The police are not going to be able to get to a level now where they can get past that. Because a little bit of diversity training is not going to make a difference. It is ingrained in them to fear us. That implicit bias is never questioned. They aren't trained to get rid of that. We all have implicit bias and they cannot accept that. So please, for the police officers here, please think, try to understand why the only thing that we have left is to abolish the police and to defund the police. We've tried everything else and nothing has worked and you have never stood with us. There is a reason as to why we do not say fuck the NHS, fuck
fuck the fire brigade, but fuck the police!
Share out the stream, give it some hearts, it's good for the algorithm.
I just want to bring people's attention to the bus strike that's going on in Manchester at the moment. It's part of the struggle of workers up and down the country. It obviously ties in with what the Tories are trying to do at the moment, which is obviously cut down protest. But more than that, they're trying to cut down industrial struggle, because what workers are doing increasingly up and down the country. They're seeing that the Tories are using the pandemic as an excuse to cut workers' terms and conditions, like the bus drivers behind us, trying to cut £2,500 from workers who already don't earn or just about earn the average wage in this country. So we see it's absolutely crucial. The unions are part of the struggle to fight against this bill that the Tories are trying to push through. And on that cause, every single one of you can do something about that. If you see a bus going past that is not your normal bus and you get on it, I would ask, is that a strike-breaking bus? Because what they are trying to do in this country is not only to actually push through more repressive bills, they are trying to push workers' wages down, down and down, and we are not going to let that happen, because the trade unions are beginning to struggle and to fight just like you are now. And I'll say one last thing. In 1819, there was a little demonstration just about on this spot. I should know about it because I'm a teacher and I teach it to the kids. The Peterloo Massacre. Well, that was a massacre that day because people had no rights. They are trying to take away those rights that those people who died on this spot fought for and died for. Now, if they're going to try and come for those rights, they've got to fight on people. So let's stick together.
Bus drivers have been striking for 28 days to be honest with you!
Let's be very clear. It's not the government or the bosses that keep this country going. It's workers like the bus drivers here. And I want to say, if it wasn't for the bus drivers, half the city wouldn't function. So thank you so much for fighting for your rights and our services.
So I'm an activist in People Before Profit. People Before Profit have started off with health workers fighting this government when it didn't provide PPE to nurses who had to wear aprons when they were dealing with the COVID pandemic. And now this government is hell-bent on continuing to protect millionaires at the top of society who have benefited from private contracts, the mates of Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock, who've been given hundreds of millions of pounds worth of contracts. They're continuing to make money and they're profiteering out of this pandemic. So I think what the previous speaker was saying was really, really important. Our strikers behind us are absolutely amazing. The symbol of them being here is really important to connect up with the trade union movement, because all of us, ordinary people, are the ones that keep society functioning. It's not Boris Johnson and his rich mates at the top. There have been 130,000 complaints of unsafe workplaces due to COVID, and the government has taken no action whatsoever. We put our lives on the line every single day to make sure everything runs. And so I think the strike is really important. There'll be more strikes. I think all of us need to take our militancy and our politics into our workplaces, organise and work, fight against